For close to 20 years, the Hopkins County Dairy Festival has been associated with hot air ballooning. And so this Friday and Saturday evening, there will be a balloon rally and glow at Shannon Oaks Church that you won't want to miss. Let's find out more from Balloon Committee Chairman David Black.
Well, we're coming up on, I believe it's the 18th year that we've been doing the balloons. And back several years ago, we used this just to kind of kick off the celebration of the Dairy Festival and just get everybody's excitement level going. And it's coming up this weekend. We'll have a media flight Friday morning. There'll just be a handful of balloons in town just to get them up in the air, get a little exposure. At 12 o'clock noon down on the square, we'll have kind of a ribbon cutting to kick the whole festival off, and there'll be some baskets down there, and the Queen's contestants and all will be down there, so you can come join us. And then the big event starts Friday afternoon. Need to be there. Start showing up about 6 o'clock. There'll be a band. It's all at Shannon Oaks Church in the grounds behind Shannon Oaks. There's tons of parking, and there'll be signage there, people out on the road just to kind of help direct traffic and tell you where to park and all that. 6 o'clock starts. We'll have a pilot briefing and all at that time. There'll be a band playing, and then after the pilot's briefing, we get information on the weather and all. Weather permitting, everything that we do is weather permitting.
Now, are you still talking about Friday, June 7th?
Yes,
okay.
This coming Friday. Okay. And then we'll fly that afternoon. Usually what we do, there'll be 35 balloons here this year.
Wow.
And we'll usually fly, say, 15 of them, maybe 20, and the rest stay on the grounds. And once they take off and the crews leave, the chase crews, then the others put up and they glow. And that's when they inflate and then hit the burners, and it gets darker. You can really see the beautiful shapes and all that.
Isn't that a beautiful sight?
It is unreal. And Billy Broker, the balloon master that's kind of over the ballooning part of it, he had some special treats for us with the glow this year, he said. He's always got something special for the Dairy Festival. That whole group looks forward to coming to this balloon festival.
Well, they sure do. And we treat them like royalty here when they're here. But I'm sure they go to balloon festivals all over the place with all kinds of different personalities, but they love Hopkins County.
This balloon, I don't know how many times that I've had this, the balloonists that come to this rally that tell us Albuquerque and the Dairy Festival here at Hopkins County are their two favorite ballooning events. When we send out the invitations, and this ballooning event is an invitation-only event, and this year we sent out invitations, and we had, I think, 28 slots already filled within about 12 hours. So everybody was sitting waiting for that invitation to hit because they didn't want to miss the opportunity. And we have the parade they look forward to. They all decorate their vehicles and balloon baskets and all that. They have the cow milking. They have the ice cream freeze-off, and it kind of kicks off the ballooning season for them. We're one of the first events of the year for the balloonists, the big events, and they just look so forward to this.
How many places in the world can you go and get to milk a real cow?
That's true, especially some of these guys. And it is very competitive. We got to watch them all the time. They'll come up with any kind of angle to get advantage over their competition in that cow milking.
It's a lot crazy. Of friendly competition amongst these balloon people. A lot of them are families that like to do this for their recreation.
Absolutely. That's what they do. That is and most of them, it is a family-oriented activity for them.
Because it's kind of like hands on deck. You have to have people in place that know what they're doing.
Absolutely. And it's a lot of work. It's a tremendous amount of work for those balloonists.
I would guess it's also some expense.
There's a huge expense there. And the balloons, it's just like a car. You can buy a small balloon that's not fancy, like a, low-end Volkswagen, and you can buy the Cadillac. And this year we have two shape balloons coming, which are a huge expense to have those things built. Those things are about 8 or 9 stories tall. It takes a big crew to handle those. This year we have Cosmo, which is like a spaceman balloon, and then Teddy Bear, which is a huge teddy bear. And that's our 2 shapes. We always try to have 1 or 2 shapes that come in, and just kind of, they're a crowd pleaser, and they really are impressive when they get those guys up at the balloon, at the glow and all.
Well, now taking the flights are all about what the weather conditions are up there, and we can look at a forecast on our phone or whatever, but that doesn't necessarily tell us the details that the balloon pilots need to know, and they study this stuff. So when they all come to town this weekend, they'll be here Friday and then through Sunday probably.
Yes, they'll fly. Well, we hit on that again. Friday night, Saturday morning, it's a competition flight. Everybody flies at the same time. And again, it's at the church. Usually by 5:45, we're up and running, having pilot briefings and getting ready to take off. It's a early morning sport, and then Saturday afternoon again at 6 o'clock.
So the Saturday morning is the competitive flight amongst the pilots. The Friday morning media flight is not a competition or anything like that. It's just getting the town some exposure with a few balloonists in town, just to kind of kick it off early. Try to get some of the media up to get them some exposure there too, and they can kind of help us to publicize the event a little bit. Absolutely, and I loved my opportunity to go up a few years ago. So Friday evening and Saturday evening at Shannon Oaks, the Rally and Glow, which is really the family. The balloons are going to be there on site. You can watch them Saturday evening. The ice cream contest will be going on.
Yes, right before the balloon rally, the ice cream frees off on the same grounds. Just follow the signs, and then after the ice cream, you can just bring your lawn chairs and just set up and get ready for the balloons. Also, again, on Saturday night, we'll have a band, entertainment. Okay. So there's always activity there, trying to do things for the community. It's all for the community. That's what we do it for, and any money we raise is for the girls. It's a scholarship pageant, and
right.
And that's any funds that are raised for this goes towards that scholarship for those girls.
I know the photos of our Dairy Festival queens are out now, and I get a chance to meet them, and so do our listeners, next week in this time frame, 8:15 time frame, Tuesday through Friday, including our outgoing Dairy Festival queen, Caitlin.
Yes, and the girls that are in it this year, they are amazing. We haven't started doing the rehearsals yet for the pageant, but I'm hearing there is some spectacular talent this year, and a bunch of beautiful girls. It'll be amazing this year, the pageant, and they're always at the balloon, and anything that's going on, they're right in the middle of it, activity-wise, for the next 10 days.
So one of my best memories is I was doing something else. I think I had to go out to the garden, which is in Brashear. So I was coming back into town on the service road, and I got on Main Street approaching downtown, and I saw balloons going over the courthouse. So it's just so like in slow motion. It was a beautiful, soft evening.
Yep, it is.
It made you want
to
pull over and take a picture of that.
Absolutely, and it's great. It's amazing how many people will be stopped on the interstate just going down as they're all taking off from the church. A few years ago, on a Friday afternoon, I believe it was, the wind happened to be just blowing due west, and all those balloons that got up went right down the interstate. And there were cars stopped everywhere taking pictures and just outside their vehicles just watching it. It's amazing to watch those things. And like you say, they're just like floating along, peaceful, quiet, easy. So it's amazing to watch those. I
want to know, and we have just enough time to talk about it, how in the world did you get started being interested in hot air ballooning when they come to town?
Oh, way back when it initially got kicked off, they asked us to, kind of help participate and, chair the event, and one thing led to another, and now we're we're real close friends with all the pilots. It's an amazing group of people, and you get, just like a lot of things, you get engulfed in it, and then it kind of consumes you as far as your activity, and you love it. We go to other balloon events all over the country.
Really?
Just to try to, learn what we can do to improve ours. I was at a ballooning seminar in Plano back towards the first of the year, and there was about 200 people that put on events, and balloonists and safety people and all at that thing. And somebody asked a question about the Dairy Festival ballooning event, and there were people represented 36 states and 3 provinces in Canada. And when I got up and, said where I was from in the balloon event, I'd say 75% of the people in that meeting knew and heard of the Dairy Festival. So we're very well known all over the nation as far as an event that people want to be at.
Well, we do it right here in Hopkins County, and of course, safety. The balloon pilots bring the whole concept of safety with them. We help them to enforce that, but they know how to not only keep themselves safe, but anyone that they take up in their balloon. They always want it to be a good experience.
Absolutely, and ours is safety first. If the wind's too heavy, some events kind of push the balloonists to get out on the edge, and ours is safety first. Our weatherman, our safety man, they're both related to, our weatherman is over the DFW airport weather for all the airplanes and all that. We have an FAA guy that's here usually, and he's in charge of some of the safety issues. And the thing, like you were talking about the weather, it may be relatively calm and the flags aren't really blowing much on the ground, but the wind at 800 foot, 1,000 foot is blowing 30 miles an hour. So sometimes it's hard when you're out there and the wind's not blowing and they're saying the wind's too much, and it's, you scrub the event for that morning or that afternoon. It's hard to believe, but we're not going to put them up when it's when there's a safety issue. And if a balloonist ever does anything that we feel between the committee and the balloonist, the balloon master feels like they were not being safety first, then, as I said, it's invitation only, and they happen not to get an invitation again.
Well, tell me a little bit more about, did you say Billy Broker is the...
Billy Broker, yes, sir. He lives in the Dallas area. He flies commercially for Remax. He flies the plain old balloon. There's no telling how many thousands of hours he's logged in a balloon, and the balloon master is the one that coordinates all the balloonists, what they do, all the regulations, all the safety issues, all the paperwork before they ever get here. There's a tremendous amount of work to put one of these things on, and he's got a large load that he carries on his shoulders to ramrod this whole thing as far as the balloonist part of it.
This is all so very interesting. So we hope to see balloons in the air this weekend, and we cannot say at this point if there is or not, but we know the teams are coming to town because they wouldn't miss Dairy Festival.
Absolutely. They'll be here, rain or shine. They'll be here, and they'll be excited. So you can be looking around for them all over town. Another thing that people can watch for is there's signage in front of different businesses. There'll be signs out at the church, at the event, but there's no way that we could be operating and doing this without the sponsors that we have and the community support. It takes a tremendous amount of crew to put these balloons up because we have to furnish a lot of the crew, and it's fun. Everybody that's ever crewed, the balloon always wants to do it the next year and the next year, and a lot of times, with the same balloonist. But
and that doesn't mean being in the balloon. It may be your ground crew.
Your ground crew help inflate it, put it out, and then once the balloon takes off, then you get in a chase crew with the balloonist or the chase crew people, and you tag along, and once you just follow it, when they sit down, then you help gather it up and bring it back home. But it is a fun event. Again, look at the names of the ones that sponsor it, the event. And they're local. Most of them are local businesses here in town.
Right.
And KSST, they're a sponsor. So
we have a sign in front of our business here along the service road. It looks like a hot air balloon on
there
the
you
front.
go. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, David. Well, we are all very excited about Dairy Festival and everything that it brings to our town, including the hot air balloons. And thank you for all that you put into our county through this festival.
Oh, it's not me. It's all the committees and the people on the Dairy Festival and the town itself. They're the ones that make it all happen. I just happen to help out a little bit.
Another wonderful thing about Hopkins County. Thank you, David Black, for being with us this morning.
Absolutely.